was the first joint practice?
It was cool. I think offensively we started out slow, and a little flat. But we ended really well. But we always preach that like we got to come out and I always lean on the O-line because I want the O-line and the backs to set the tone in the run game, and I feel like we did, but we could have definitely been a little bit better, a little more consistent today. But I feel like overall it was good. It was a good day. A lot of fights and stuff, but it was a good day.
You weren't involved in any of those, were you?
Nah, I got a rule. If you're over 240, I ain't messing with you. So.
You've played with Garrett for a minute now here. Like when he makes that play, I don't know if you were able to see it, the touchdown towards the end where he juked out I don't even know how many players. What's your reaction?
I just laugh because he's so good, and me and him talk about it all the time. We really want to show like what we both really can do in the league, and we feel like we finally have the team around us for us to really flourish and do what we know we can do. But watching him every day, like I said, every day I practice, I'm coming out, and me and him are essentially like competing with each other to who's going to be the best player on offense. So it's always cool because we both admire each other's game, and he likes to watch me run the ball, and I like to watch him catch the ball and do what he does after he catches it.
From our vantage point, obviously there were a few fights today. Looked pretty chippy. What was the feel on the field? Was there just something like an extra tension or spark?
I don't know, because whenever I see a fight happen, that's my water break. So I turn my back and I'm like, y'all can have at it for however long y'all want. I'm tired, so it's too hot for me to be fighting outside. I'm like, y'all got it. I ain't.
Obviously got a pretty complex scheme from like a pressure perspective. You guys saw last year. How important is that to like have early in camp, obviously going against your defense, and then get experience of getting 6, 7, 8 guys coming at you?
Yeah, it's good and to get some experience like with them running like more of a 5-down defense, and it's a little harder to run the ball, so you got to work your combos and your one-on-one blocks a little more. So I feel like that was good because they beat us up a little bit today, and that's what they do. Their defense is very stout. They're one of the best run-stopping defenses in the league in the last few years. So I think it was good for our O-line to go at it with them and get beat up on them a little bit. So I feel like overall for the offense, I feel like we got better today, and we got some mistakes to correct, which is going to only make us better.
Describe the emotions of seeing Quantez in the situation on the sideline and him being taken off of the ambulance.
Yeah, it was very sad, very emotional, and then you just immediately get on your knee and say a prayer for him and hope he's okay. Hope God puts His hands over him and his family, and just like I said, hope he's okay, and I hope he's going to be able to come back and be around as soon as possible. But I didn't initially see what happened. I just saw everybody kind of stop practice and walk over there, and so that's all I saw.
You mentioned, everybody's playing Friday night. What do you try to get out of a preseason game? Obviously, are you looking to try to find something? Or are you trying to just get taken to the ground first time and get back up?
Yeah, really just actually getting tackled for once. Like even today, like me and Antoine Winfield had a really good thud in the hole today, and I haven't really been hit too much like that. So it was good to get that feel. But just to get a few carries in, whether it's 5 plays, 6 plays, and get some tackling to the ground, maybe get some blitz pressure, and got to pick up another guy blitzing that's trying to run through me and get a sack and everything like that. So I think it's definitely good to get a little feel of it, a little taste of it, and then get out of there for sure.
It seems like Mbu plays with a little bit of an edge. Like how much do you like running behind a guy like that?
I like it. He's definitely a guy who doesn't go for any BS. So after the play, if he feels like you're doing too much, he's going to let you know about it, and then if you make a move, he's going to make the second one. He's a guy who, he ain't never going to start it, but he'll finish it. So that's the type of guy you want to run behind for sure.
He changes his attitude when the game starts versus off, because he seems to have this goofy persona,
Yeah, he's very goofy and playful, super chill. But yeah, definitely when he gets in the field, he's like, all right, you do anything too much, I'm gonna let you know about it. So it's cool. It's funny to see the flip switch, but when he gets in that mode, he's definitely in that mode. You could tell.
You played with a lot of different quarterbacks here. What has it been like getting to know Geno, and what stands out to you about him?
Yeah, just dealing with a lot of guys coming in and out of the building. You deal with a lot of personalities, a lot of different characteristics. But being around Geno, it's been cool. He's an OG, proven vet. Very much he's chill, laid back, likes to talk, communicate, but he's very much okay, when it's time to go, it's time to work, let's lock in and everything. But it's been cool. just to talk to him, get some insight from him and about all the things he's gone through while he's been in the NFL, the good, bad, and the ugly. And he always tells me, like, he uplifts me all the time and telling me, like, Breece, you can do whatever you want in this league. Like, and like I've said this, I finally feel like we have the team and the pieces around us for, me and Garrett to really flourish and do what I know we both could do.
Take a few more.
Breece, anybody you talk to from the Bucs team, throughout the joint practice?
Who did I talk to? Other running backs, Bucky Irvin, Kenneth Gainwell, and a few other the DBs that I trained for the combine with and stuff like that I knew played throughout college. But, when we're on the field, there ain't really no talking. We all got a job to do. We're all trying to feed our families, and we're coming out there to compete, so that's what it is.
What will be looking for you guys tomorrow maybe get off to a faster start offensively?
Just being physical, come out, be uber physical, and let them know what type of day it's going to be. I feel like, when you come out, I feel like, every great team has a good run game. So, when you come out and you're able to run the ball effectively and really let your O-lineman lay on the defense to get them tired, and that's how you know it's going to be a good day.
You said you're going to play in the preseason game. You excited about that?
You said what?
You said everybody's playing in the preseason game. You excited about that?
Yeah, it's like bittersweet because you're excited to play, but as a starter, you only got like a few plays in there, so it was like, all right, I got to make the most of like if it's 1 carry, 2 carries, I got to try to at least try to make the most of it. So it's definitely cool, but I know I'm only gonna get a little taste of it. So
no, I'm saying it's a bit chippy out there. What is your philosophy? Just the fight and everything like that too as well.
I think we got a great day of practice in. We were able to get through all our periods. Very competitive, very intense. Tampa is a very good football team, very proven. Outside of last year, I think 5 years in a row, been in the playoffs, winning that division down there. Phenomenal quarterback in Baker Mayfield. Todd Bowles, phenomenal head coach. A lot of great players. And so we were able to get some good work in. I think anytime you trying to have intense practices and guys are going to the ground and trying to stay up, it's just a blend of playing a physical brand of football. And I think there was some explosive moments, but nothing that ran over. We were always able to get it back under control and continue practice. And so practice had a lot of eventful moments. We had a player go down and just kind of stopped and prayed for him. And then we were able to pick back up practice. And so I think it was just a well-ran practice, and hopefully we have another good day and it'll lead up to the game.
What was your initial thoughts when you saw Quantez Stickers go down?
I didn't see it happen initially. I still don't know everything. I think that's the fortunate part of this game is that you have a great medical team that's always on alert. And so by the time it happened and I realized what happened, I was coming from another field. The medical team was around him and they were handling him. And so I don't have many details as to where it is right now, but a few of us just kind of huddled up and prayed for him and hope he's doing well.
Mario, three of those 4 fights were your defense against their offense. Did you feel like you were frustrating them?
No, I think it was just it was some good plays that were being made. We were just it was very competitive. They're a very good offense. I think Baker has proven to be one of the top quarterbacks in the game. The offensive line is very solid. They got some good running backs, good tight ends, and some really good receivers. Their offensive coordinator's coming out of Atlanta and know he's going to have that group ready to go. And so we were able to get some really high quality work. Some of the plays, might have got a little extra at the end, but nothing that affected practice. We were able to still get good work in. I think at the end of the day, when you have 2 teams coming together on a competitive environment, that's really what you want to be able to get accomplished, is both teams getting better, able to get a good look, going good on good, and be able to assess it. And so we're all excited to go back and watch the tape, see where we can get better, and come back tomorrow and hopefully have another good day of work.
Mario, AG was saying that the defense is about 85 to 90% installed. It gets mundane going against your own offense. And today helps build confidence. As one of the elder statesmen in the room, do you feel yourself like coaching the other guys up, telling them to trust the process at this point in the season? And does today give you confidence that the new system's going to work?
Well, I think when you play this game for 15 seasons, what you realize is preseason is just a race to week 1, and everybody across the league is trying to get as much of an advantage as they can hit it into week 1. And so wherever you can do that, I do think if you can have good work against other teams, it is helpful. The teams that I've done it with before has been very beneficial. And, you know, the work that you're able to get in preseason, all of it leading up to week 1 is helpful. And so I think this week is very, very beneficial for us all. And I think every day that you come to work, it's about efficiency and time on task. And how do you not just work hard but work smart? And so in the moments that we have leading up to week 1, how much better can we get? And I think across the league, that's commonplace.
Everybody's playing in the preseason. For a guy like you've done this so many years. Do you look forward to that? Playing in the preseason?
I do. I love the game of football. I love playing. This game really can only be played one way, and it's 100 miles an hour. And so anytime you're doing walkthrough or just study practices, even like this, or preseason games, every bit of it helps you get ready for what it takes to play a regular season game. And as much work as you can get in effectively in a smart way leading up to the game is helpful. And I think so much of it is about your approach to get ready for a game. So even in a preseason game, you need to be treating those like regular season games. When you're playing regular season games, you need to be treating them like playoff games. All the great players that I've been around who've had, you know, phenomenal careers and are Hall of Fame guys, that's how they approached it. So I don't think you need to reinvent the wheel. Just follow the mode.
How much did you play preseason?
You've been around, Demario, you've been around some really good football players. And when we're watching practice, we don't have the luxury of watching it back on replay over and over again. But when we see David Bailey flash time and time again, he starts to really stand out that he might be. He looks different than most rookies, I think we expect. I'm curious your opinion on him and what you've seen from him to this point.
I think when you draft players, I've been around a ton of rookies, 7 to 10 every year for 15 years. You know, I've seen some who were projected high, not play up to that level. I've seen some who were projected low and played above that level. He looks like a number 2 pick. He looks like everything that's been advertised or more about him. I think his instincts of not only rushing the quarterback but just getting to the football in general, the way that he plays the run with savviness, and I think he already has a lot of elements of a pro. He's mature for his age. I don't know if that has to do with how he was raised or his path and his journey, but he's been phenomenal to work with and alongside, and I think he's going to help our football team exponentially, and we need it. And so I'm excited to see how he plays this year and beyond.
I'm curious, just how much did you play in the preseason in New Orleans?
Different seasons, different coaches. They all have different philosophies, but I've had my share of reps in the preseason in New Orleans for sure.
No, it's really tough. I don't like seeing fighting. I think that you do that in a football game, you're kicked out. It hurts us tremendously if you're doing that in the real football game. These joint practices are another way we can try to simulate close to game day feel. But at the end of the day, I'm really happy that we're having to pull guys back rather than to get guys to go. And so I think that, I don't like fighting, but there's some positive in the idea of, I don't want to be punked out here. And so I don't hope we don't do that tomorrow, and I hope that that's not a part of the DNA of this team. But also kind of gets your adrenaline going a little bit sometimes too.
As a veteran, when you hear AG say that everybody's going to play in the preseason, how did that make you feel?
Yeah, I think it's cool because even playing a lot of snaps or a lot of games in the NFL, every year is different. Every season's different. Every coach has a different pregame routine. What time is the group warm up? What time is the taping get done? What time are the hot tubs open? All those different things. So, practice, there's like a certain intensity you can get to. Joint practice, there's a certain intensity you can get to. In a preseason game is the closest intensity you can get to full game day. And so I like just to let's go through the full routine of, when do I get taped? When do I go to the bathroom? When do I eat? When do I do all the things that goes into place? And then, mentally you got to get up. This is a football game. I'm going out there. There's people watching. This is real tape. And so for our young players or everybody who's going to be playing, all of us, I see it as a benefit. There's been years I've never played in the preseason. There's years I have played in the preseason, and from a veteran standpoint, I think that there's a huge benefit to doing it. And I know from a player health and safety standpoint, there's drastic number shifts about injury rates in the first 4 weeks based on if you can play in the preseason or not.
I don't know where you were when Montez went down, but, what were your emotions when you see one of your teammates there?
It was really scary. It puts a lot of things into perspective. I'm really happy to hear that most of the news has been positive, but obviously there's an initial knee jerk, and you're sitting there like, what the fuck? I'm glad of the positive things that we've heard. It was great to see this conscious, and again, what's been shared to us is things are on the up and up. But really cool about the team we have. If you were able to look around the field while the incident was going on, you saw a lot of guys praying. You saw a lot of guys talking with one another. And when we broke down the team at the end of the practice, all 90 of us and coaches said a prayer for him. And I believe the Holy Spirit can do amazing things. So I expect a full recovery, and I hope that he's, God covers him.
Ask AJ about this, about the kind of like playing a different front than you guys played a year ago and adding some bigger bodies. How's that kind of? Did you notice the difference in kind of just the size of human beings next to you down in, down out, and how it's going to kind of be deployed throughout the season?
Yeah. Not often is a 310-pound D-tackle a smaller D-tackle in your room. And I don't know everyone's weights, but I think I'm on the lighter side of our guys. What I do like is that we have a ton of position flexibility, and I don't know, even though we have some large people, they have different skill sets, and it's gonna do a lot for us. This is a matchup league. I know you hear that more on like how do running backs and tight ends fit up with linebackers, or corners versus receivers, but it's the same thing in the trenches. And so we might see a team that's got a tackle who can't sit on power very well, and so we have some really big body people that we can go out there and say, hey, let's get some work on this tackle. And that same body, a week later, we might see a light center who can't anchor to power, and now we're able to move guys on that guy and say, hey, we're having issues, or we got a two-hand puncher, we need a guy who can win through the B gap high. We got a body type and a skill set that can do that. And so I think the versatility of our defensive front is really good, and getting to play with Do has been really great in my career. I've been able to play with a lot of great players, but he's up there, and he and I have had a really good, as training camp goes, you just start to like give looks or have little calls or little nuances. When you do them against your offense all the time, they pick up on them. Now we have a different offense here in joint practices. We're able to do some things, and I like the way that we've been working together, and obviously Briggs and our rookies and the edge players are involved with that. We're hoping to get Sweat back soon, so I like it.
Bailey looked today.
Yeah, DB's been doing a good job. I was out there when he was out there for most of the time, so I can't. Not really. Hey, how you doing? I can't really see it, so I'll watch the film today. But overall, we had some good communication. Again, one thing I'm really most impressed about him is sometimes I don't know if you've seen the playbook and all the calls that can come in, and sometimes you just kind of have a brain fart. You hear a call and say, and you're like, wait, what one is that one again? And it's cool to see when a player's like, hey, is it that DB can tell a year 6 player, hey, it's this way, you have this. That's cool to see that he has that understanding when that, all the things that are going on in the snap, that he can be calm, collected enough to hear the whole play, know what he's doing, and maybe help the guy next to him. Hey, no, I'm rushing, you have this. It's really cool to see from a young player.
When it comes to that communication and understanding the playbook and whatnot, AG said it's about 80 to 90% installed at this point.
Yeah.
What is a day like today when you get to go against another team and have some success, mean at this point in training camp?
Yeah, I mean, we're a huge growth mindset organization, so we either win or we learn. So every day is something positive. Whether we win a rep, lost the rep, we learned in that rep. It's really nice to go against somebody else because it's another opportunity where we're not really game planning somebody. Now that we're 2 weeks into training camp, I kind of feel, hey, when these tight ends versus our offense are here, these are the plays I'm going to see. I can cheat it a little bit. I can use some of my veteran tricks to make it easier or have more production. Well, I'm going out there with a blank slate. I know this. I don't know that, other than playing them a couple of years ago or last year, where they have a new offensive coordinator. How does this offensive coordinator fit this scheme? We're blind. So we're out there and you're just playing football. And how well can we execute our job, really not knowing the opponent? And again, I think I said this earlier. It's like I'm not going to have beers with these guys like I would be with some of my offensive line I face day to day. So there's a little bit more intensity because we're not good friends out there going against each other. I thought there was a great work on both sides of the ball. I loved that last period where we were all together getting to watch the offense compete too. Again, I just hope that some of the chippiness cools down.
Mindset, organization. After the season last year, obviously it didn't go anywhere near what you expected. What gives you the confidence? What do you see that it's growing, and this year can be different?
Well, sorry. So your question is more about how like the struggles last year to where we are now, or
Yeah, like what gives you this positive feeling that things will be different this year?
Well, I think that last year we had so much adversity thrown to us, and then look where we are right now. I mean, look at the way that guys are talking, the way that guys are working, the off season that we've had, the additions that we've had in, the buy-in from ownership to build us this beautiful facility, the way that our rookies are coming together. I think that the fact that we're able to be like this after last season already shows what I'm talking about. You know, we've been able to be punched in the mouth and stand right back up and say, great, how can we move forward? How can we change the culture? How can we win football games? How can we build a championship organization? And how can we have competitive stamina? And so training camp does that. And we're just in the midst of it. Only a couple of weeks in, we're not a polished group, and we have a lot more. I'm a lot more optimistic about where this group can go. But I think that just every day, how we come here in our approach, and you guys seen us work all of OTAs, all of minicamp, all of training camp. I just hope that you feel that growth mindset in us. See it.